Good morning, family. It is 5:37 a.m. and I am reading you guys' messages. And I got a message from a Lady Locks 15, and she was asking me about my gastric bypass, and which a lot of people don't know that I have had. But your girl just keeps it motherfucking real, and I don't have very many secrets at all. I put all my shit pretty much out there, but for the most part, people don't know that I've had that. And I got that in 94. I had just gotten married. I had gotten married February 12th. And then after them benefits kicked in, Mama went on down there and got the gastric bypass April 14th, 1994. And at that time, you didn't have to go through all the rigmarole that you have to go through now with joining health clubs and counseling sessions and all that shit. If your insurance paid for it, you went down there, your doctor said you was cool with it, and boom, that was it, and that's all. Well, at that time, believe it or not, I had gained a lot of weight. When I had met Tony, I was about 200 pounds. When I went in, I met him February 8th, 1992. When I went in for gastric bypass the day of my surgery, I weighed 343 pounds. Believe it or not, I gained 143 pounds in that 2 years. And, my husband one time never wavered. I mean, he loved me the way I was, and he was cool with it on whatever I wanted to do. It was whatever. And, my thing was, I'm not getting ready to keep on fucking you and I ain't got no motherfucking medical benefits. You feel me, ladies? When I met him, I was still at home. I was my first year of college. And I met him at 18, 19 years old. And so, that was my first 2 years of clubbing is when I met Tone. I met him at a club. As a matter of fact, it was an all-nighter at Norton Air Force Base here. And so, as a matter of fact, he actually stalked me. And so I married my stalker, believe it or not. So, things just kind of took off really, really fast with us. And I met him February. He moved me into his place April 4th of that same year. So, 2 months, he was like, "Look, we need to move in together," and this and that and the other, and we just never parted. I mean, just out of all that little time. So, as the months and days went by, and I was like, okay, I need pap smears, bitch need to go get her grill cleaned and all that other shit. Nigga, you got insurance. What's happening on that campus? You know what I'm saying? So, then that's when I started looking into medical benefits, and I was like, I want to get some medical benefits good enough because I want to get this weight off of me. And so he was like, whatever, whatever. Tony has had the same demeanor since I met him. It's like, whatever, whatever, whatever you want to do, you can have whatever you like. And it's just been like that from the time I met him. So, anyway, so I went in for surgery. And needless to say, in the beginning, it really didn't change me none because I was so in love with my husband, and it was, we were newly married and all that kind of shit. So it really didn't change me up. You know what I'm saying? Now, it began to change me when, let's see, it started changing me. I began to get fast shortly after that. Well, no, not really, but that's when my husband began to cheat, when I started losing the weight. As long as I was big and fat, he didn't have no problem with it, rubbing and all that shit. But as I began to lose the weight is when the infidelity began to kick in, and the women that he began to cheat on me with were 3, 4, 500 pounds. And at that time, I was starting to come down in my weight. But the more I began to come down, the more he rejected it, and he wanted me bigger. And so that's where the problems began to come in at. And so it was a mess. It was just a mess. And then shortly after that, 2 years later, I ended up having Anthony. Then that was in 96. Then I didn't get fast, y'all, until my father passed in '01. Yep. After my dad passed, and that's when I began to the tide began to change a little bit in me, because at that point in time my husband had already had about 12 affairs in the marriage, and here I had lost over 100 pounds, and it didn't change anything. It actually made things worse because he began to get insecure, I guess, about things. And there was really no need, because I was still so in love with him, even though I had went through all these trials and tribulations with his ass. So it was kind of crazy, but I still stuck it out. And though he still began to cut the fuck up. So we went on until about '06. And that's when I decided enough was enough already. And that's when I was like, I just took my kids and I was out. And then that's when, I started getting into the dating scene. And that's when I started really tightening my body up. I began to, let's see, wait, let me go back. My birthday of 2005, my husband gave me $10,000 for my birthday. And that is when I got my first tummy tuck. When I got my first tummy tuck, that's, y'all, it's 5 something in the morning and y'all ringing me off. You hear that shit? Do you hear it? Okay. So I got my first tummy tuck, and that's when I was like, wow, my stomach is flat. I wasn't able to see my pussy in years. You know what I'm saying? So when you able to see your pussy, you trip out. When you able to sit on the toilet and you able to see your pee, that's some cold shit. And see, girls that don't have bellies, they don't know what that is. But girls that got stomachs, when you can't see your pussy, it's like, it's down there, but it's like, shit, what's happening with it? You know what I mean? All you see is a little steam that come out when you know what I'm saying, when you peeing, and you see like a little, I guess that's just me. I don't know. I guess my pussy has always been hot. I don't know, but shit, all I can see is the steam. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got that tummy tuck, and it's like, damn, you can actually see a tongue going in and out of that motherfucker. That's when I really got the trip. I'm like, oh shit, bitch ain't got no stomach. I can stand straight up without no bra on. Now I can look straight down and see my toes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because without no bra, you got a little gap between there a little bit, so you able to see. But with a bra on, shit, the girls, I don't give a fuck how much weight I lose, I still can't see my motherfucking toes. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but I do got some skis though, because then sometimes I can. Sometimes when I was a little bit smaller than I am right now, I could see my toes, even though I could look down there, because I wear a size 10 shoe. So I could look down and I could still see my motherfucking toes. So, anyway, and after I separated from my husband, that's when I was wilding the fuck out. I was staying at home back with my mom. My dad had passed, so it was just me, my mom, and my kids. Hold on. It was just me, my mom, and my kids. And that's when I began to, I got approached to do modeling work. I got approached to work with Monique from the Parkers. That's when I began to do a whole bunch of stuff. That's when I was, I did my first BT and all that kind of stuff. And that's when everything just took off for me. And I began to start smelling myself. You know what I'm saying? I was meeting men that I never would have thought I would meet. I was meeting men that I only saw on TV, and it's like, wow, And I just started feeling myself and just started wilding out. And I was going through that phase. Hold on, let me check this. I got to go because I'm trying to hook this up on Flip, because then you guys get it quicker. So anyway, I'm going to go out and I'm going to come back on part 2 on my surgery background and how it worked out for me. All right. Deuces. Morning.